Hi, welcome to another segment of Senior Profile. I'm your host, Howard Rogers. To start off the new year, we wanted to do something different. Actually, we have 3 new Senior Center directors and 3 of the senior centers here in the city of New Orleans. We have a new director at the Lakeview Shepherd Center, we have one at Carrollton Hollygrove, and we have one at Uptown Shepherd. So today we're going to interview all 3 of our new Senior Center directors, along with Mrs. LaQuan Fields Calvin, who is the Senior Center Director for the New Orleans Council on Aging. I had to get that straight. So I'd like to introduce to our studio audience Ms. Marcy Litchell, who is the Director of the Lakeview Shepherd Center, and Omar Buckner, who is the Director of Carrollton Hollygrove. So Omar, Marcy, welcome to Senior Profile.
Thank you, sir. It's good to be here.
So, Marcy, tell me a little bit about yourself and the Lakeview Shepherd Center.
Well, I'm a relatively new New Orleans resident after I've been here about 4 or 5 years and love New Orleans very, very much. Especially love Lakeview, where our Shepherd Center is located. And we have a really nice facility where we have hot lunch and activities, of course, for the seniors, and just a nice, very welcoming environment.
Okay, all right. Omar.
My name again is Omar Buckner. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Went to high school and college here. And I spent some time across the country. Lived on the East Coast, lived in the Midwest for a number of years. Moved back home right before Hurricane Katrina. Most of my experience has been in not-for-profit work, working directly with community-based organizations, either in the area of youth development, organizational development, and we are housed at 3300 Hamilton Street, and it's a brand new facility. We had our ribbon cutting ceremony on October the 19th. I am proud to say that and I got to say this, my activities coordinator is Takina Santos. She's been outstanding. And my van driver, Rodney Shows, has been just a major help and push for what it is that we're trying to do. He's a member, well, both of them actually are residents of the community. Both of them will live within 2 blocks of the facility, so have been tremendous resources as we serve about 25 to 30 seniors a day. And we're looking to increase that number all the time.
Okay, all right. So, Marcy, what? You're about to say something.
Omar did a much better job of talking about his center. So if I can tell you.
So tell me about, that's what I was about to say. Tell me about Lakeview.
Okay, so thank you very much for that too. I appreciate that. We're at 316 38th Street, right in the heart of Lakeview. And we service about anywhere from 12 to 22 seniors per day, depending on the day and the activities that we have. And our board is very involved, provides hot lunch every day, and we, of course, same thing, have a number of activities, and we've been in existence for 39 years, although we've been at this location that we're at right now for about 4.
Yeah, in fact, earlier I was kind of giving everybody the history of their senior center. That's what you get when you're old as dirt like me. No, just kidding. But no, I've been around since all 3 of the centers were founded and started, and it's amazing. I've seen the growth of Lakeview, Carrollton, and Uptown over the years. The transformation from the directors and it's very rewarding to know that people really care about the seniors and have decided to come in and take on that particular job of being a director of a senior center, which is, ladies and gentlemen, a very interesting job. If you want to start a new career after your previous career, you think you're ready to retire, then I suggest that not only do you visit a center, but it'd be nice to volunteer at
Absolutely.
Because there are a lot of folks out there that need your help and your assistance.
I'd say all the time, because we have a number of volunteers, people from the community, who come as far as, I have a young lady who comes from either Houma or Hammond, I forget, but to every one of them says the exact same thing. They get more out of it than they give, and I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
But I think, too, for me, I'm relatively new in the nonprofit area, and particularly with senior centers. And I think that my volunteers, whether they're adults themselves or youth that come in volunteering through high school, and myself personally, it has been a very eye-opening experience to see, you know, that you have, at least I did, and I think a lot of younger people have a certain perception about old people that they're just old.
Yeah.
You know, they're aggravating, they don't have anything to offer, you know, just kind of, oh, yeah, yes, sir, okay, yes, sir, fine. Okay. But it has just been, I have learned so much about what our seniors have to offer. Me personally, our center, the community, and that's one of the most rewarding things, again, not only for me personally, but when I see volunteers, especially young people, that they walk away from an interaction like, wow, they're actually smart and they have really important things to say and offer, which it seems kind of silly, you know, but it's true. And so definitely having volunteers in our center has not only helped our seniors, but it has been very helpful to the volunteers themselves.
You know, Dr. Griggs talks about how seniors in every other walk of life are revered. You look at seniors in school, and they're the ones that we all look up to. But when it comes to seniors in our community, we have this misperception of them, and it's almost like, you
Push
know,
them away.
Well, you know, and when I used to teach class, used to tell social work students, unfortunately, one of the things that we as a society, we have this throwaway mentality. You know, you go to a fast food restaurant, you get the container, after you finish with the meal, you throw it away. You know, after you finish with, you know, certain items, you throw them away. And unfortunately, over the years, we have been programmed as a society that once you get a certain age, you know, quote unquote, you are old when you get to be 60. All right? Okay, I'm 62 now, I'm not old.
No.
Okay? And if you go and tell somebody, oh, you old, you know, the weirdest thing, I guess not weirdest, but the best thing is when you try to convince somebody who's 75 or 80, hey, you need to go to the senior center. I don't want to be with them old people. All right.
That's
whoa, time out.
absolutely
Well,
true.
you're 80 years old, but yeah. But I might be 80 in age, but in mind and spirit and body, I'm not. You know,
Well,
and
I think that's part two of redefining what a senior center is. You know, that, and again, part of my perception prior to having started at the Lakeview Shepherd Center is that a senior center is where you kind of just go sit there all day. And contrary to that, I mean, our senior center, and I know the other ones in the area, it's a very active, thriving group of people who are there to learn, to create things, to better themselves, to offer things not only to the center but to the community. And that, I think, is part of the perception challenge that we face of trying to let the community know that it's at 75 and you're active and you think that you can't come to a center, you're the person that we want at the center.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. Now, I know, Marcy, at Lakeview, y'all have an art class and some other items that y'all produce for a bazaar.
Yes, we have a boutique.
All right.
And we have a quilting class, and some of those have phased out, and some of them are coming back in part of our transition. But we have hand knit items, crocheted, you know, just different handcrafted boutique items that we do have for sale that the members produce themselves, and then we have for sale at the center.
Okay. And Omar, Carrollton Holly Grove, well, you had that wonderful commercial kitchen up there, but we have yet to put it to use. And everybody keeps wanting to know when you're going to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, afternoon snacks.
Well, actually, the seniors I was speaking, we were talking before we went on air, that the seniors decided that they wanted to put together a breakfast. So on December 23rd, right before we went on our Christmas break, the seniors hosted breakfast. So they invited everybody who's enrolled, which is about 85 people. I'm not sure how many people exactly showed up, but they did put it to use. They did pancakes. I believe they did pancakes. I know they did bacon, sausage, eggs, grits. So they
We should be
finally.
over there.
Oh, okay, all right. So they finally did break the seal on the
They
kitchen.
broke the seal on the kitchen.
All
Yeah,
right
before
then.
that, we had been doing popcorn and that kind of stuff, but
Okay,
little snacks, warming up food. But they did officially break it up.
Now I understand AARP recently donated some computers to you.
We did. We have a fully functioning computer lab now. We have 6. Actually, AARP donated 5 computers to us. Then we had an anonymous donor.
All right.
Also contributed one computer to us. And I've been teaching the computer classes of late, and it is. It is. I mean, you talk about just an eye-opening experience, just to see. First off, just how limited. How limited the folks are just in terms of experience. They're almost afraid of the computer. And then once they get past the fact that they won't break it, just how engaged they become and how fascinated they are. Simple stuff, but seeing their houses. Just going to Google Maps and seeing their house on the map, and that fascinates them. But then that first email that they receive, the first email is
absolutely.
It blows them away.
It blows them away.
Blows them away.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's one of the contributions that we're able to give seniors, that all of a sudden they're not so isolated
exactly.
from grandchildren and children,
Exactly.
and just information around
Right.
that they have access to that they don't know about, and that's a beautiful thing.
Oh, it is. I mean, to hear some of my folks talk about, I'm gonna go Google that.
And they
When-
probably never did that before.
They had no idea. They had heard what
Right.
Google that. They'd heard the expression, but they had no idea what it meant, right? And so now to hear them go, I'm gonna Google that, and then to actually mean it is pretty. It's just a good feeling all around. And then also we haven't done it yet, but we're setting up our Skype accounts. So they're exchanging in the process of exchanging
wow.
information and having those conversations, those virtual conversations on the computer. But I'm looking forward to the day when we actually have that first Skype conversation, and it's a life-changing experience for them. And they really are.
And their families.
Exactly, and they begin to trust the computer. Initially, there was the resistance that they felt like people were going to steal their identity and that kind of thing. But we've talked about firewalls and just securities that are in place now, and they're becoming more comfortable with it, and we enjoy it.
You bring back some old memories because back in the 80s when I was running the Senior Citizen Center, one of the things, unfortunately, we would take them on trips, and one of the seniors would not, this is what one of my people told me, or one of my, the aides would not get dressed in front of the television because she thought that the people were looking at her through the TVs, all right, which was, very interesting.
But you think about it, they are now.
Yeah, now you can't.
They know exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Something to that.
So maybe
Exactly.
she had a little, she had a little something there that, hey, this is what's going to happen pretty soon.
Right.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to be taking a short break and coming right back. But before we take our break, even though this is the first of the year, you're going to hear my usual message every time we're on the air. If you have not prepared yourself for hurricane season, it's 6 months down the line. It's not until June. Please dial 311 and get registered. Well, thank you for tuning in for Senior Profile, and we will be right back. Hi, welcome back to Senior Profile. And as I said earlier, we have 3 new directors of 3 senior centers here in the city of New Orleans. And for starting off this year, we've already met Omar and Marcy. And now we have Ms. Kimberly Van Wagner, who is the new director of the Uptown Shepherd Center. And along with Kimberly, we have Laquan Fields Calvin, who is the Director of Senior Center Services for the New Orleans Council on Aging. I got it right that time. All right, so Kimberly, welcome to Senior Profile. And tell us a little bit about yourself and the Uptown Shepherd Center.
Sure. I started working at the Uptown Shepherd Center in June, and I took over from Sylvia Warren, who had been the director for almost 20 years. My background is in community organizing, and also I worked with seniors before on Ferret Street at the Ferret Neighborhood Center, which I was the founding director in 2007. And then I graduated from UNO recently with a master's in public administration. I came on and talked to you about my research on the intersection of aging in place and disasters. And the Uptown Shepherd Center is located at 921 South Carrollton. We've been in existence for 38 years. It's an amazing place. We have a very nice facility in the Carrollton United Methodist Church there that we rent space from, and we have about 25 seniors who come every day, 9 to 2, and we have lots of activities. And we also have a whole other group of seniors who come just for certain activities, such as Tai Chi, and we offer hot lunch, and we just have a really good time. It's very rewarding work. I'm really happy to be there.
Yeah, well, welcome aboard.
Thanks.
In fact, as I was telling everybody earlier, how kind of know the way that, especially those three centers, Uptown, Lakeview, because I worked closely with them over the years when I worked for the Council on Aging the first time as the senior center coordinator, and then with Carrollton Holly Grove, I used to run it. But I've seen Uptown go through this change over the last 30-odd years, and it's always grown, and it's always had this certain, I would say, personification in terms of the way that you all help seniors in the Uptown area. I'm real proud of it. I love the different classes that y'all have.
Well, all of our classes, for the most part, are taught by seniors themselves, and they're
that's the interesting
complete
thing about
volunteers.
it.
So I think that's amazing. And then the premise of most of the work of the center is keeping people active and engaged. And so, there's not a lot of sitting around.
Right.
Even if you're in a walker or you have limited mobility, you still got to participate. And a lot of people do, even if it's just dancing in their chair. We still, we do line dancing every Monday
And something
afternoon.
else that I love that y'all do, y'all take y'all drama class and go to the different senior centers and do different plays, important topics that relates to seniors, and that's something that's wonderful.
This is an amazing program called Golden Heart Players, and it's been in existence, I think they did their first show right before Katrina or right after, and it's incredible because we're talking about seniors, most of whom are in their 80s and 90s, and so we all have some, memory issues, but theirs is a little bit more striking, but they're able to write their plays, and they work with a drama therapist, Lou Furman, and they perform the plays in different senior centers, nursing homes, and community centers all around. It's amazing,
It's
actually.
amazing to see that.
So, Mrs. Calvin, you have 16 senior citizen centers now.
Yes.
So, tell us about, you want to talk about all 16 of them, or you want to talk about them collectively?
Well, we're going to talk about all of them.
All right.
All of them are, well, let's put it like this here. As you was talking earlier about the faces of the senior centers, they have changed. I know most people out there in society, they say that it's a babysitting service. They talk about it being a bingo hall, but it's a place where people can come together to access service, and we can link them folks up to services that's in the need, where they meet them in the community. And it's also where it's like this one-stop shop, where they can actually get those services there and not trying to go about trying to find it somewhere else. And I'm so glad that we have that partnership with the Council on Aging and the senior centers to actually provide this service to them. Because as Ms. Kimberly Van Wagner said, it's a worthwhile experience to see and witness the miracles that happen. I witnessed when I started in 2006, where Mrs. Brown was at a center, and due to Hurricane Katrina, she, family was displaced, things that was going on, and because you had those little centers that came back within the community, and just to see her just smile again.
Yeah.
And just to provide her with that meal, provide her with the peer link. That's something that's remarkable for us as human beings to provide this to the seniors. I hope that when I get to be that age, there will be services and programs for me.
Yeah.
In fact, Uptown was the first center to reopen after Katrina on Halloween, October the 31st, 2005. Right. Well, I mean, you didn't have any kind of damage to the church or to the center, and we were able to get the meals shipped in from Jackson, Mississippi, to Uptown Shepherd. So
That's really, one of the things that I think is most important about the way we work with seniors with the Council on Aging is the personal attention that everybody gets. And so almost every week, maybe several times a week, we'll get a phone call from a family member who's concerned that the elder in their life is sitting at home watching TV or not doing anything or is becoming depressed, and we invite them to come to us. And I know that happens at all the senior centers. And LaQuan does a great job of knowing each senior, in fact, as much as the directors do. And we are able to be a part of, even though we serve about 25 to 45 people, we know that we're part of a network serving hundreds and hundreds of seniors, all with very personalized attention to what they actually need. And so people who previously were sitting at home watching TV and sort of wondering, whether they were going to live tomorrow, have a real reason to get up every morning and come. And if they find that they don't have the way to get there, we'll provide transportation. And if they need to eat, we'll provide lunch. And it's just great to see everybody socializing, but also engaging in activities, as Marcy and Omar were talking about.
And research, Mr. Rogers, has showed us that being a senior center participant, it offsets the chronic diseases that comes along later. They learn to try to manage it while being at the senior center. So again, it's just remarkable. I applaud anyone to come out and just visit all of the centers, because all of them are unique, they're different, they bring about a unique within their community. And this is one of the reasons why I say visit, because then they can know what type of services and programs, and this will come on with funders and funding those type of programs for us. So it's a remarkable experience that we do every day, Monday through Friday, and to bring those services and programs to the seniors.
Okay, so what's on store for 2016, Mrs. Calvin?
Well, we have Gospel is Alive.
Gospel is Alive.
That's coming up, and we're trying to bring a choir from all the centers, and hopefully we'll be able to perform at Gospel is Alive in the month of April.
In the month of April, that's right.
Yes, and hopefully we'll get a chance to perform at Jazz Fest with the senior choir. And also, in May, we have our Senior Fest, where May is Older Americans Month. So we have a lot that's going on. Marla and I, she's the director of community service. We work as a team, and there's a lot that goes on at the Council on Aging and with the senior centers daily.
Yeah, and we have Mardi Gras coming up, so that means
Mardi Gras
everybody's
ball.
going to have a king and queen and then
Correct.
Mardi Gras ball. And
So we're going to have to put our skates on.
yeah, we got to put our skates on to make sure that you get everybody and toast everybody, because
Right.
if not, folks get mad because you didn't show up at my ball, but you came to their ball. and
Right,
stuff.
right,
But
right.
We love it. I know
Yes,
we love it. We
yes,
love it. We love
yes.
it.
It's hard to be the most popular people in town.
It is sometimes, but hey, somebody's got to do it. But so Kim, yes, right. You were for those, and I want to say that was either our April or May show. Kim was here, and Kim talked about her dissertation, which was seniors and disaster. Which was very pertinent and still is, because one of the things that we do on every program of Senior Profile is make sure that people are prepared for hurricane season. And so you want to tell us a little bit about your research?
Sure. Well, I would say that while we emphasize hurricanes here, and that's really important, a lot of my research looked at major disasters, but also regular everyday disasters. A lot of seniors experience falls, and they sort of expect that that's part of aging, and it's actually not part of aging. And so, when the Council on Aging or the National Councils on Aging or anybody says this is Falls Month, you know, senior centers really do need to be talking to people about how falls can be prevented. And then when we are looking at something like a hurricane season or a disaster, I know that Laquan and the Council on Aging make sure that all the centers in their network have an evacuation plan and preparedness on hand for every member, and that's really important. And even those members of ours who last year they signed up and then it's okay. Sometimes they don't remember if they signed up or not, and so we just sign them up again. And it's no problem to just call the 311 and make sure that they can be outside of, you know, Mata de la Rosa or another pickup spot to be prepared. And everybody's lives change. So maybe you didn't have a pet last time, and maybe you have a pet this time, and so you have to be thinking about what to do next. So I'm really glad that you are constantly harping on all of us to be prepared, because we certainly do not ever want to see another disaster, especially
like
for our elderly
Katrina.
population, as happened with Katrina. It
Okay.
continues to happen.
Yeah,
It
continues to happen.
Yes.
So what's new on the agenda for Uptown for 2016?
Well, we have a members council it's a group of seniors, and they elect themselves every 6 months. So we got a new group starting in January, and they'll tell me what's up. No, just kidding.
All right, okay.
For the most part, we're just going to keep everything going and have a good time.
All right, okay. And anything on the agenda outside of Mardi Gras? And we've already talked about Jazz Fest. We've already skipped 3 months already. Mardi Gras and Jazz Fest. And then we also have Senior Fest coming up in May.
Correct. And we'll be letting folks know about Senior Fest and letting them know about Gospel is Alive, because seniors are welcome, church groups are welcome, senior groups are welcome to come out and experience Gospel is Alive.
Okay, all right. Anything else, Mrs. Calvin?
Nothing at this
Nothing at this point? Oh, okay then. Well, one of the things that Laquan might have forgot about is that there's soon the Department of Transportation will have their application process open for the I'm about to say 16B2, but it's not. It's for the 5310 vehicles. So you can contact the Department of Transportation on that. All right, if you need any more additional information about the senior centers, call us at 821-4121. Thank you for tuning in to Senior Profile, and we'll see you next time.